First we are writing the for, but instead of writing the regular for loop, that is initialization, condition and incrementation, you are writing the variable name and then a predefined keyword called in, and then you will specify your object. So this for in loop reads the properties from this object and executes this loop block once for one property. Each time the property name will be assigned into this variable. For example, there is an object with two properties, let's say x and y. So when you try to use this for in loop for that object, for the first time the variable assigns to the first property, that is x, and then second time variable assigns to the second property name, that is y. And then you can try to access the property value by using bracket accessor instead of dot accessor. So in the real world applications, whenever you are not sure what properties are exist in that particular object, but you want to read all the properties from an object, in that case you can use the for in loop. For example, you are receiving the property from another library or another code that was developed by another developer, or you are using some third-party library. In that case, you are not sure what properties exist in an object that was probably created by another developer. So in that case, if you want to read the values of all the properties, then you will use this for in loop. And in the same way, even though the object was created by you and you know what properties are exist, but there are numerous properties, for example, let's say tens or hundreds of properties, and you want to execute same code for all the properties. So in that case, instead of accessing each property individually and repeating same code for all the properties manually, you can read all the properties by using this loop, so that you can write exactly same code for all the properties. But alternatively, in case if you want to do different operations for different properties, then this for in loop is not recommended. Let's say for example, there is an object with two properties, that is student name and age. For example, you want to convert the student name into uppercase, but you want to increase the age value. So in this case, you are trying to perform two different operations for two different properties, right? In that case, for in loop is not recommended. But in a different case, let's say for example, there is an object with two properties, that is first name and last name, and you want to convert both into uppercase. So you want to convert uppercase for both properties, that is, you want to perform same process for both properties. In that case, for in loop is recommended. So let me demonstrate this by an example. I am trying to create a file that is for in.js. Let's say for example, there is an object that contains student details, that is student name, and also it contains email and branch. That means name of the subject group. For example, CS for computer science. So this is an object related to student. Let me store this object reference in a variable. So name of the variable is student. Now I would like to read all these properties one by one. If you want to access the property manually, you can try writing student.studentName and student.email and student.branch individually. This is one way of accessing all the properties by using dot accessor. So we are getting all the property values one by one since we are accessing them independently. The another way to access the same, as we know already, that is by using bracket accessor. So we can try writing the square brackets and specify the property name in quotes, means you should supply the property name in string format. So in this case also we will get same output. So there are two ways to access the property names, either by using dot accessor or by using bracket accessor. We already know about this in the previous lectures, but you're repeating same code for each property manually. But in all these three cases, only the property name is different, right? So we can try to read the property name dynamically by using the for in loop. So let's get rid of this. Let's try writing for in loop. So you will mention for and declare a variable. For example, you would like to store name of the property in a variable called prop. You can try writing any other name alternatively, something like you can just give like x. Alright. So variable name is property and you will mention in, it is a part of the syntax, and then you will write the actual object name from which you want to read the properties. In this case, you are trying to read the properties in student object, right? So this loop executes once for one property in that object. Here we have three properties, right? So the same loop executes three times. For the first time, prop equal to student name, next time prop equal to email, next time prop equal to branch. So each time the variable called prop represents the actual property name. So if you try to print prop, as you can see, first time prop equal to student name, next time email, next time branch. That means this prop is not the actual value, it is just name of the property. In case if you want to access the actual property value, we should write like the reference variable name, that is student, and in the square brackets, that is in the bracket accessor, we have to write actual property name. It already expects the property name in string format, and already the property name is available in string format in this variable called prop. So this student of prop access the actual value, for example, Scott. So when the prop equal to student name, it will return the value called Scott. Next time prop equal to email, so student of prop equal to scott@gmail.com. And next time prop equal to branch, so student of prop returns the value called CS. So we are getting the property name and the value, and in the same way property name, value, property name and value. And you would like to perform some additional tasks apart from printing the value. Let's say for example we have marks of the student for three respective subjects. For example, for physics, marks is 60. For chemistry, marks equal to 70. And for maths, for example, 80. So I would like to increase these marks by 5. So I am trying to check the condition here. Each time we are checking the value of prop. If prop equal to physics or prop equal to chemistry or prop equal to maths, in either of these cases, I would like to perform some task. That is, I would like to increase the value of the particular property. So we are accessing the current value by using student of prop, and that is equal to the current value plus 5. So each time when the loop executes, this particular if condition will be checked. But whenever prop equal to student name, email or branch, in these three cases, this condition is false. So this code will not execute. But whenever prop equal to physics or chemistry or maths, in these three cases, this if condition is true. So that marks value will be increased by 5. And after the loop, let me print the complete object to see the result. See, finally at last, we have an object with physics and chemistry as well as maths marks have been increased by 5. So you can identify the name of the property by using this type of condition and do specific operations for a set of properties. So this code executes for all the properties, but this code executes only for the specific properties. That's why first it prints all the values of all the properties, but as soon as it is reached to physics, chemistry or maths, it increases the value by 5 and it won't print the value directly. And after that, after completion of the loop, you are printing the complete object. So by that time the value is already increased. So you can see the result by this time. This is how does it work. So in the real world applications, whenever you are not sure what properties or exist, or whenever there are numerous properties such as tens or hundreds of properties, in these cases you can use this for in loop. But this concept is suitable when you want to perform similar or same task for multiple properties or all the properties. In case if you want to do different operations on different properties, then avoid using for in loop because it has no benefit at that point of time.